What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are checking out some more of the new Paldea starters brought to Pokemon Go, and today is going to be Quaquaval, submitted by Agent Cortez 13. Now, I stated before in the last video, but I know everyone doesn't see every video. So the short of it is, I was moving house when this event took place. I don't have access to these Pokemon. I can't do them for you. And these battles were submitted during that rotation. But the Great League is coming back like in a day or two, depending on when you see this. So be sure to give this Pokemon a try because, well, it looks absolutely insane. All right, getting into the first battle. Again, shout out to Agent Cortez for sharing this with us. Pelipper, Registeel, and Quaquaval, as we do have a Registeel lead right here. So this is actually a pretty tough Pokemon for this team to be facing off against, right? If you think about the Zap Cannon and the Focus Blast damage that is present here in this battle, it's going to be a very tough situation to come back from. So they decide to shield right away, stopping that Zap Cannon. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a swap out at some point. Maybe, yeah, we do see the Quaquaval now come in, and we do see a counter swap into Venusaur. And this is where the flex of Quaquaval can be shown, because there was not only this Pokemon was introduced, but there was also an update to Aerial Ace. It is now a very viable, very meta move. It's not as hard hitting as a Sky Attack, for example, or a Brave Bird or a Hurricane, but it is very spammy. You guys are about to see just how strong that can be, as they will go for another Aerial Ace here. And Wing Attack, if you guys came back last year, was updated, and they get to another one in time. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Winning the 1-2 shield situation against a Venusaur. That is absolutely insane. Do they get to close combat? They get to the close combat. This Pokemon is out of control. Boom! One shots the Registeel, and that is a wrap. It is a good game. There is no coming back from it. This Pokemon, mind you, one shield versus 2 shields just in that battle, took down a Venusaur and got to the close combat again. Did I put close combat there? I did. Against the Registeel. So this is going to be a good game. Very good first battle right here to kind of get things started. We have a whole roster of submission, or a whole set of battles here that were submitted. I believe it's basically 2 sets, like the Skeledirge video that you guys may have seen. So good game. All right, getting into game 2, we have a Pelipper on the lead and a safe swap into Carbink. So they decide to come in with the Quaquaval here, as they do have access to close combat. Now, I feel like Registeel would be the better answer, but again, when you gotta take and you agree with me, right? Registeel, it is the better answer in this matchup, right? But we got to take into account what is happening in this game. The Carbink was used as a safe swap, and with safe swaps, you're looking to draw out the hardest counter to a specific type of Pokemon. So in this case, the rock type tank kind of thing. So stuff like Bastiodon, Galarian, Stunfisk. Well, Galarian Stunfisk isn't rock, but the same category, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Registeel, a Bastiodon, or a Galarian Stunfisk, or even a Steelix in the back, which is why they're deciding to save the Registeel potentially for that harder coverage in the back. Now, if it's a mirror, that's going to be tough, but let's see what they come up with here. Buzzwole comes in. We'll see the counter swap, and it's a Bastiodon. That's game over. Yeah, and the opponent is going to, they're going to go ahead and surrender. So that's going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one, we got Pelipper versus Ariados here. So a very positive lead and a swap into Greedent. So we will see Quaquaval come in and look to dominate this mid-game matchup. Now, this is one of those situations where this could go either way. Body Slam, as you guys are seeing, is doing a lot of neutral damage, and that's before the debuff with close combat. And in order for Quaquaval to win this mid-game matchup, they have to land these close combats. So we might see an Aerial Ace, which is exactly what we're seeing here, as a shield bait opportunity. It still does good neutral damage, but you're hoping to get a shield. And the opponent no shielded, so they have to go for close combat now before another Body Slams goes through, so they can at least even up the shields. And then look to come in with something else Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to go ahead and shield the Body Slam. Very dangerous because the Greedent is going to be getting to another one in time. Yeah, that is unfortunate right here. So this might be a good game. We'll have to see if they can come back. They're down shields and they lost switch advantage. And this Greedent is not done yet. And this goes to show that just because a Pokemon is really strong, it's a fighter against a normal type, you have to consider the situation at hand. Quaquaval does not have a fighting type fast move, which means it's only doing neutral damage. In order to win, it has to land a close combat, which lowers its defenses and makes Body Slam a lot harder to overcome. So we do see a swap now into Stunfisk. So thankfully, the Pelipper here can still do super effective damage with Weather Ball, but one discharge will KO. So they got to be very careful about catching the charge move. And honestly, if they can catch a charge move being discharged instead of a Mud Bomb, that's going to be very advantageous for them as they do get the final shield. They swap into Registeel. Ariados now comes in, and Registeel is going to be hard locking down literally this Ariados because Lunge, Cross Poison, whatever charge moves they're going to be throwing here is all going to be resisted. So this is looking to be a good game. And remember, Pelipper, I believe, still has a Weather Ball loaded. So that's going to come to CMP tie against the Pancake. And I think Pelipper takes that one right there, as CMP tie addresses your overall attack stat, which includes not just your IV. So don't think when it comes to CMP ties, meaning both Pokemon click on their charge moves at the same time, that it's going to be your IV, right? Oh, I have a 15 attack IV Pokemon. It's the overall stats. We do see a counter swap, and there it is. Boom. They have the Weather Ball ready to go. They were one fast move behind, so that's a beautiful call to swap in. And now this allows them... Actually, this is dangerous. This is dangerous because Discharge is going to be enough to KO. They go for Focus Blast right away. That's good on the Registeel because the Stunfisk here could have gotten a Mud Bomb, and that definitely would have sealed the deal for the opponent. But now Registeel can easily go for a Focus Blast to close this game out. Again, Focus Blast is a little bit less energy. But going back to the CMP tie, it comes down to the Pokemon who has the higher overall attack. So it includes their base stats and the IV combination all into one, which you can't see unless you go to pvpoke.com and kind of gauge what it's going to be. So good game. All right, moving into the next one, we have Pelipper on the lead versus Sableye. So pretty decent lead here, neutral, and I wouldn't be surprised reading with the Sableye lead that there would be a Steel or Fire or Rock type Pokemon in the back. You got to take a look at what Sableye's biggest weaknesses are, and that is going to be Fairy type Pokemon. So you got to have covers to that. So it could pair very well with the Registeel. You got to kind of adjust for that. And the choice to shield right there, we do see a Dugong. It's definitely going to be something like a Registeel in the back. You got a Dugong safe swap, which is meant to draw out the fighters so that Registeel can have a better endgame. I could be wrong, right? It could be anything back there. It is Go Battle League after all, but you have to make the most educated guess that you can. And with a Sableye lead, Dugong safe swap, obviously, it's going to be a steal as my best guess. But Quaquaval here in the mid game doing very well against Dugong. Close combat did land, and the Aerial Ace is going to make quick work of it, as we will see the Sableye look to come back in and probably try to go for a healthy farm down. Ooh, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. They do get to the Aerial Ace in time, and this might just force a shield. This now gives the Agent Cortez's Registeel an opportunity to win that endgame, as Pelipper does have some energy, but doesn't have enough for a Weather Ball to CMP tie the Sableye. Let's find out. They come in with that Registeel. It's actually a Frostlass. So, completely wrong, right? Completely wrong right there. My guess was off, but my guess was educated. And in this case, they went for double Ice in the back. So it was a Ice safe swap, maybe to draw out Rock type Pokemon, to draw out Fire type Pokemon, right? To have Frostlass do a bit better. But in this case, I still think it's going to be a good game. Frostlass has to land a Shadow Ball here, which it's looking to do. And then Pelipper, yeah, has 2 Weather Balls ready to go. That's going to be a good game. They can farm down anyways. That's a wrap. Pelipper now. Sableye does not have 2 Foul Plays ready to go, but I don't believe Pelipper does have 2 Weather Balls, though. So that's going to be a good game. But this is a great example of you can read a specific team, right? Sableye, Dugong, a steel type in the back makes sense, but it's not. But they still played to that. You saw them come in with Registeel right away to get ahead on energy. They were reading a steel type Pokemon in the back, and if it was a mirror match Registeel, the Registeel with energy advantage into ones wins, right? So that's a beautiful call and still beautiful execution there. All right, getting into this one, we got Dugong here on the lead, so kind of a tough lead to manage, as it will have access to Icy Wind, applying some of that neutral damage and also debuffing, as they will swap out now into Quaquaval here to try to get to a close combat in time, but not before the charge move can come through. So they will be tanking this Icy Wind here. Not enough to threaten the Quaquaval, but they now decide to go for close combat in order to start putting pressure back on the Dugong, and it does. Boom! See ya! Dugong got one shot even after the Icy Wind debuff. That is a lot of power coming through. And Medicham now coming in. This is very interesting. Medicham here takes super effective damage from these flying type moves, and they do get a shield there, as Quaquaval will get fully farmed down. But Pelipper now, 2-to-1 shield situation. They have to watch out for Psychic. Ice Punch won't be enough to KO, but they still got to respect it. So they will come in. The opponent swaps out right away into Mantine. So now we will see the Registeel come in after they load up back on energy, because this Pelipper, in order to win, needs some energy on the back end. They might give up one shield here. Yeah, that's going to be the play. Build up enough so that you have a Hurricane ready to go. And then, oh, they're going to stay in. Okay, yeah, they're going to go ahead and swap out so they have multiple Weather Balls ready to go. Max energy there on the Pelipper, which is going to be the call. Now, Mantine here, looking to go for the Bubble Beam debuffs, and honestly, Registeel, I think, just needs to go for the farm down. We might see a counter swap back into Medicham here, but unless it has Dynamic Punch, it's not going to do a lot with that counter swap. So Registeel going for the aggressive farm down, getting hit with Bubble Beams is totally fine. Zap Cannon is going to put enough pressure on this Medicham. It might not shield on this one, because after 3 Bubble Beams, I believe, right there, this is not going to be enough to KO, but it's going to get it low enough. Yeah, go. That. All right. Let's put some respect on Bubble Beam right there. I definitely thought it was going to do more than 10% HP. My gosh. Now we do see them decide to go for a shield there, as another Ice Punch is going to be coming through, and they can build up to the Zap Cannon, swap back, and oh, Pelipper got countered down! No, they didn't click on the charge move right away. The counter went through. That is unfortunate. Medicham now is going to be taking it. That was a sealed deal game, but it just goes to show that you gotta be, I mean, maybe, you know what, that's worth a slight rewind here, because I feel like they weren't prepared to touch. Oh, look at the health on Pelipper. Yeah, look at the click. So the click here, yeah, you guys can see my mouse. They went for the click on the swap, but the counter came through. As you guys can see right there, the counter came through just as they swapped in, so they went down and didn't even have a chance to click on the charge move. That is so unfortunate, and this is a situation, oh man, that's so tough. You can see the frustration here. So good game right there, but that is just obviously just dangerous, and good on the opponent to overcome that tough situation that they were in. All right, moving into the next one. We have Pelipper on the lead versus Sableye once again. Okay, still, I would read a steal in the back of some sorts, but let's see how this plays out as they go ahead and go for a Weather Ball right away, start getting that neutral damage in. And Pelipper with Weather Ball, I mean, when it got that move update, it's always been on the cusp of being one of the most dominant meta flyers, and it's still very, very strong. It's incredibly strong, don't get me wrong. But with the Sky Attack nerf this season, its stock definitely went sky high, because having the Weather Ball coverage and the Hurricane coverage as well, and the Hurricane damage is very strong in this Great League meta. So we do see them catch a foul play, which is resisted, and a counter swap into Registeel. Quaquaval is about to put in some work here with close combat as they decide to go for the charge move, but unfortunately Quaquaval is going to be forced to shield the Zap Cannon, and it was a Focus Blast! Oh no! This is actually, no, this is actually better because the Zap Cannon would have debuffed or potentially debuffed the Quaquaval, and now they can freely land it and go for aerial aces now. Oh, they don't throw it. They tried to go for the farm down, and unfortunately, they're going to be another Focus Blast. Oh, okay, it's enough to KO. All right, it's enough to KO. Yeah, I guess. I thought for sure they would go for an aerial ace there. Getting very greedy, but that's okay. We do see the Sableye come back in, so they must be weak in the back to Pelipper. So let's see how this plays out. They're going to be forcing this Weather Ball here, taking out the Sableye. Final Pokemon is going to be a Skeledirge, sorry. And they do catch the charge move now on Registeel. This is huge because the Disarming Voice is resisted, and they can get to a Zap Cannon in time now. This is going to be close. Shadow Ball, Incinerate. How is this going to play out? I think it's going to come down to CMP tie right here. Is Shadow Ball not enough to KO, but they do get to the Zap Cannon, which is obviously going to be forcing the final shield of this game. But who's going to win the charge move priority? Pelipper or, and the attack dropped right there, but that doesn't matter. Pelipper or Skeledirge. It's going to be... I keep wanting to say Dridge. It's not. It's Dirge. Skeledirge. Pelipper wins it with the Hurricane. So good game, very well played. And that's an exact situation of both Pokemon have charge moves, and it's based on the overall stat product. So Mantine now on the lead. So kind of like a mirror fight to some extent. The water flying combination here. We'll have to see how they play this out. Now, depending on the moveset that Mantine is running will determine how this game goes. And it's going to be the Aerial Ace. So they're going to be a lot spammier. And in this matchup, here comes the second one. This is what's devastating is Pelipper's Weather Ball is its spammy move. But they barely hang on. They go for the Hurricane now. It's its spammy move, but it's resisted. Whereas Aerial Ace is neutral on Mantine's side. They do land the Hurricane, but it's not enough to KO. So now they got to come in with Registeel and look to go for the aggressive farm down. And again, if you guys didn't, a counter swap into Diggersby. Interesting, a Focus Blast now going to be coming through. And then I imagine we're going to see Quaquaval come in and look to put in some work. No, not just yet. Yeah, they do swap in now. So Quaquaval here. Gonna put in some work. Gotta watch out for the Earthquake though, as they do, or Scorching Sand. Same difference here. The ground type move, as they do decide to shield and go for a close combat now. The question is this gonna be enough to KO? As the Diggersby, no, it's not enough to KO. Their defense dropped as well, so they're gonna go ahead and let this go through. As Scorching Sands will land once again, and that was an incredible amount of damage. Diggersby gets the complete farm down there, and Registeel comes in and isn't able to farm down. This poor trainer has been one or two fast moves away from winning games. Oh my goodness. Mantine decides to come back in? Okay. What are they hoping to get? Bubble Beam debuff here? Yeah, Bubble Beam debuff, and now swap into Medicham. Okay, that makes sense. So now Zap Cannon isn't going to be doing as much damage, and I think the Medicham might take this. Attack drop though, that's still pretty big, and it depends on the moveset here on Medicham if it has access to Dynamic Punch or Power Up Punch. Let's see. It's going to be Psychic, so that's not enough to KO, but Zap Cannon, unless this gets another debuff and they can somehow magically do 50% HP, Medicham's taking this. So that is so unfortunate right there, where multiple charge moves coming through really fast moves not getting being able to farm down was the detriment there. All right, so we saw a Chesnaught on the lead and a Sableye safe swap here. So Chesnaught obviously gonna have a very tough time against both Pelipper and Quaquaval because of the wing attack damage. Chesnaught is grass and fighting. So those wing attack fast moves are really going to add up as Pelipper now gets to another Weather Ball and tries to catch the charge move. That was a nice counter swap. But now they're going to be forced to shield here, stop that foul play, and then look to go for another Weather Ball. They do swap and catch the charge move here. This is huge. Now, this is resistant. We saw how much damage it does. It's actually still a respectable amount along with Shadow Claw damage. But Quaquaval could go for the full farm down, but they are instead going to go for the Aerial Ace here. to try to force a shield or just get rid of this Sableye. So Sableye does go down. We're in the ones, and we will see Chesnaught come back in. And this is a tough situation because Aerial Ace here will be getting the final shield, but Chesnaught does get a healthy farm down thanks to the water typing there on Quaquaval. And now it's going to be up to Pelipper and Registeel to try to win this one. Question is, do you catch the Frenzy Plant, or can you catch the Frenzy Plant? They swap in. Here comes the charge move. Frenzy Plant will KO, so they're going to go ahead and shield. And it is going to be the Frenzy Plant right there. Now we see a counter swap into Swampert. So they're going to go ahead and go for the Hurricane. And I think this is going to seal the deal right here, as Pelipper is going to be taking this one as they counter swap now into Registeel. I don't know about this one. This is going to be close. Hydro Cannon. No, they didn't go for the Earthquake. Had they gone for the Earthquake there, I think it's over, because they might have been able to farm down. But now, let's see. It's going to be another Hydro Cannon. So this is going to be, they're going to go for the hard farm down here with Lock On. Able to get to another one in time. Uh-oh. Pelipper gets one fast move here. But it's going to be a matter of how much energy does this Chesnaught have, and how much damage is Weather Ball going to... This should be enough. Chesnaught is more on the glassy side, more of an attack-weighted Pokemon. So yeah, Weather Ball is enough to KO right there, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, moving to the next one. We got Pelipper versus Swampert here. So pretty positive lead, as we do see a swap out into Ninetales, and we will see a Quaquaval come in. And good thing they read the Powder Snow fast move, because that could have easily been a Charm Ninetales. And thankfully they can do neutral damage here with Aerial Ace without having to worry about debuffing themselves. They just have to watch out for Dazzling Gleam, that hard-hitting fairy type charge move, which is right there. It was thrown, so that's a good shield, as they will now overload on energy. Again, they don't have to worry about Weather Ball. It is completely fine. It's resisted. It still does good chip damage, but nothing to worry about, as they do get a shield. So the Ninetales desperately wanting to get to another Dazzling Gleam to take this game into the 1-0s, but unfortunately Quaquaval and Aerial Ace is going to maintain switch advantage and even shields here, as Swampert now coming in can't even go for a Hydro Cannon in time, because Close Combat is going to be coming through for some very nice neutral damage. Oh my goodness, that nearly one-shot it right there. The defense is dropped, so a Hydro Cannon will be enough. Yeah, it will be enough to take it out. Pelipper comes in and gets the farm down. We do see a swap out into Grand Bull, and Registeel goes, hello, I'm here to steal your victory. See what I did there? All right, good game. Let's see how this next battle goes. Was that everything? That was the whole video. We're already done. Oh man, that went by really fast. Overall, pretty impressed, right? Wing attack, close combat, Aerial Ace, we saw its potential in the right situations. It's all about energy. And we also saw where it falls behind, and that is with deep shields on an opponent's side who outpaces your charge moves and damage with those charge moves, like we saw against Greedent, right? Where it needed to land a close combat in order to win, but there was plenty of shields on Greedent, and Body Slam came out way faster than close combat that can go out. So overall, pretty good showcase here from Agent Cortez. So thank you for sharing these battles with us, and let me know what you guys think about Quaquaval, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.